All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is August 25th. Welcome to the Stack Sunday prep session where I aim to prepare myself and all of you for the trading week ahead of us. So, in today's session, I will be covering over I would say, an aspect of my trading that I feel like I need to work on. And I know that most of you will benefit from this session. So, today we're going to be talking about confirmation. So I saw last week I was red on Monday and Tuesday, and I really found that my main issue was trying to predict price action. One of those trades, let's go back. I will show you. This is a 10-minute chart on your left, 2-minute chart on your right. Okay, I think it was this day, yeah. Pretty sure this is Tuesday. I went long off of the or below area. I think it was right around here, right? Went long off of orb low, seeing that this was orb low, orb high is going to be way up here. I thought, hey, I'm assuming that price is range bound. And at that point in time, I thought it was going to, hold for the longs. But I did not have any confirmation. Going back, I see that one, price is below VWAP. Two, my candle by candle method, these arrows, the red and green arrows that you see, at that point in time, candle by candle method was not long. My 10-minute EMAs are bearish, and my 2-minute EMA time frame, right? I know that the EMAs are not bullish in that sense either. So why? I need to really break down as to why I was thinking bullish there, thinking long there. And what it comes down to is that I was just predicting price action, right? Really, when I should be reacting to price and trading alongside my confirmations, right? Keyword there is my. You guys all need to have your own type of trading system, your own risk or entry parameters, so that you are not confused within the market, or at least trying to reduce the amount of confusion. So we're going to talk about confirmation today. Let's see. Tron says, can you go over how you go through stock selection from your watch list, what names to focus on for the day? Okay, sure, Tron. So, for me, and this is just my opinion, I feel like adding more variables to your trading is only going to make it much more difficult. So you have people who are like, they use scanners and like, what is it, like black box stocks or something like that, and they use like Benzinga or Bloomberg, whatever it may be, and they're trying to become a stock analyst, right? Like that's where they think that they should be in their trading, when in reality you have a much higher probability in trading the same names every single day. Tomorrow is the 3-year anniversary of the House of Stacks. And later on, I mean, it's almost 3 years that we've been focusing on options and everything like that. I was a small cap trader before, but since then I have focused on my indices: QQQ, SPY, Tesla, or these are not the indices now, but these are the singular names, right? Tesla, AMD, Meta, Nvidia. And these are the names that I started to watch then and continue to watch now, and trade them fairly well. Right now, of course, there is probability in the mix. We're always at risk of a loss. And just because my trade parameters are present does not mean that it guarantees a win. I understand probability at this point in my trading career. But to someone who is possibly newer, not saying you, just anyone watching this video, you might sit there and not understand that concept fully of probability, right? You may sit there and say, hey, but all of these lined up and I took a loss. This strategy must not work, right? And that's not that's not logical, in my opinion, especially regarding the market. So, yes, I'll go over the SPX trade on Friday as well, the reasoning behind that, why I had confirmation. Now, of course, I introduced to you guys candle by candle method. From a 5-minute perspective, I mainly watch the 10 for sentiment, but I'm going to break down when we should be flipping to the 5 or at least paying some attention to it. Okay? Yes, I can go over that as well, Bucks, explaining orb high and low. But to follow along, I want you guys to go through and pull up Tesla's chart from Friday. This is going to be August 23rd. Okay, so Tesla's chart from Friday. I have the 10-minute chart on the left, 2-minute chart on the right. Today's focus is confirmation, and it's not going to strictly be candle by candle method. It might be like a continuation of last week's session, but again, very necessary for all of our trades this week. Let me remove CBC flip there. Okay, so going through, we can see a very large push off of the open, right? I went long on Tesla off of the open. Casey was already in those calls holding overnight. He was red, but I saw something that I really could not ignore prior to the open when I took the Tesla calls. So which ones did I take exactly? I think it was like the 215 calls. Yep, right off of the open. This looks crazy, right? Tesla, 215 calls, 10-minute CBC risk off of 9:31 a.m. 1 minute after the market opens. And you saw a really nice reaction, right? But why would I have gone long opposed to going short? We're pushing into the open. There's green candles. The risk reward might be better for the short, whatever it may be, right? We're breaking pivot. Why would I have gone long taking calls? And for me, I had confirmation. So if you want to pull up the checklist, dude, I really need to, did I pin it? No, I didn't. Okay, hold on. Oh, right here. No. Who has the A plus trade checklist again? Can you guys post that for me? Sorry, I'm gonna copy it and post it on the trading floor, and then I'll pin it. But pretty much, I don't need it. It's more of a visual for you guys. But candle by candle method was long going into the open. EMAs, right? What are my 10-minute EMAs doing? They just crossed, and they're opening up bullish, right? The 9 is above the 20. The second point, right? Price is also above VWAP. Okay, and we can go to our 2-minute time frame. And what's happened on our 2-minute, right? And for me, I really see the 2-minute as a necessity when taking entries, because I look at it from this logical perspective of, hey, if it truly is a strong move, whether it's to the upside or downside, my 2-minute EMAs are going to be trading alongside and moving alongside price in that manner, right? So if CBC is long and my 10-minute EMA, everything looks great on my 10-minute time frame, let's just peek at the 2-minute, looking for execution, and I see that, hey, my 2-minute EMAs have also crossed, and they were retested, and they bounced off of the open, right? So a really nice confluence there, confirmation that longs are in this trade, right? And if I take it off of 931, you can see this 931, this candle here is a 2-minute, so it's 930 to 932. So all within this candle, we take the longs. Looks risky because it's opening up like this, right? That looks scary. It's breaking pivot. It's pushing with strength, blah, 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 right? But if I hesitate off this trade, I will miss out on the profit, and I will likely chase the highs, right? So we have confirmation of a trade there. Yes, thank you, Nini. So right here, A plus setup, above VWAP, candle by candle, or this is for the bulls, right? Price is above VWAP. Candle by candle flip is long. 2-minute EMAs are showing as support. And it's prior to a pivot break. In this sense, it wasn't. Maybe off of this, right? Like you're looking at these pivots. We had all these plans marked out going into the open on Friday. But, that's an A plus trade checklist for me. Now, moving forward throughout the day, what do we see here? Now, there, of course, are rules. I can't just say, hey, if CBC is short, trade it short. CBC long, trade it long. It's not as simple as that. I'd love for it to be, but it's not. There is context intraday. So if you get a candle by candle method flip into the EMAs, typically to me, this is a fake out. This is higher probability for the longs within these EMAs. But I want you guys to focus on confirmation. Okay. Now, in this instance here, CBC flips long. Okay. Flips long, pulls back into the previous body. Whoops. You can see the CBC flip body candle, pulls back into it. They buy it right off of the CBC cross, or not CBC, but the 2-minute EMA cross. They retested here, but ultimately it fails. But if you're a trader, right, this is why confirmation is so important to me. It goes both ways. If you're a trader and you sit there and say, hey, I have my entry within this shaded box, maybe it's even a little higher. We'll move it up just a little bit. Okay, I want to give you guys an accurate representation of what a trader might do within the market. Okay, this setup looks great. CBC is long. EMAs are bullish on the 10-minute. Where price is pushing above VWAP, but you take an entry there, and what happens? CBC flips short. What do? Right? You exit. Confirmation of entry and confirmation of stop loss. Extremely important. CBC flips short. You can see off of this red arrow. You get out of your trade. Right? No matter how you feel. Oh, but the EMAs are bullish. Oh, I might get wicked out. Right? This is a retest of VWAP. Whatever it may be. You know, trade like a system. Right? Trade your system. Don't sit there and say, oh, I want to hold and hope, right? You know, I think that price is going to push up. I'm predicting price action. If CBC flips and I'm bullish, cut the position. I'll show you another example of that, right? I'll do it right here. Look at the tiny chart on the bottom right, or bottom left, excuse me. Where is it? I went short here. Let me clear it. I went short right here. I'll just put this little highlighted circle right here. It was like 34 or 35 or something like that. Right there, I went short because CBC was short and it was retesting VWAP. It pulled back into the previous body candle and I took the short there. I took a scale for half, like 4 or 5 points or something like that, and ultimately got stopped out. But where I took profit right here, candle had already closed bullish, and I should have cut immediately. I lost like $50, $100 on that trade just because it was just, you know, cut it in half, right? And immediately I should have cut it because CBC flipped bullish. So same thing here. If you're long because of the CBC flip long and price flips, cut it. That's your confirmation, because what happens on your 2-minute chart, right? Flip short. EMA's cross, they retest it right here. Here, let me clear this set. Or not yet. Cross, retest it right there. They take the short, pushes down, they take the short, all prior to what? This pivot break. This white line right there. 216. Okay. Traders, they get entries into the 2-minute EMAs. They're shorting it. They break the pivot, they get all out. It's textbook. But if you're trying to trade long, I also want to pull this example here. I know a lot of traders are confused right here, right? A lot of traders sit there and say, hey, but Maple, it flipped candle by candle method long. Why did this fail? I'm going to give you guys the opportunity here to answer this. Why did this candle by candle method fail? This one, the long. Into the EMAs. Sure. Below VWAP, went against VWAP. These are okay answers, but not the one I'm looking for. Low volume. I don't take volume into account. Anyone else? Too soon? Sure, but that's not, to me, is not giving me like a logical explanation. Tweezered. Okay, so look. So a lot of people are struggling with this, right? Now, if 10-minute CBC flips long or flips in any direction, what should we do immediately? Immediately. We should jump to what? I know this is hard for some of you guys, you know, and don't be afraid for posting. 2-minute, boom. Exactly. 2-minute EMA confirmation. So if I go here at 12:30, and I know this candle closes at 12:40, so we'll just highlight it right here. What are my 2-minute EMAs doing? I don't have confirmation there, right? If it truly is a candle by candle method flip with strength, my 2-minute EMAs will be either bullish or bearish, whichever direction I'm looking. In this example, they should have crossed and retested at that point in time if I wanted to take the long. And one might say, but Maple, I bought this pullback in the CBC flip long body and I took a loss and I got wicked out, sold the bottom, and then price ripped, right? Your trade wasn't confirmed. Okay, CBC flip short, they break the pivot. Again, another note I need you guys to make. A CBC flip after a pivot break, to me, is a weak trade. Right? They've already achieved the goal there. So if they've already achieved the goal of breaking that pivot and you take the entry short because this candle flipped short, we're trading a breakout. One of the worst setups for a day trader. Okay, now let's look at this example. Candle by candle method flips long here, right? Right there. What's the difference? Let's take a look. Look at the 2-minute. 2-minute EMAs cross. Okay. 2-minute 9, 2-minute 9, 2-minute 9. Right there, right? Some traders might get stopped out there, but, you know, we have to, again, look at the context of the trade. 10-minute CBC flip short going into the EMAs. Yes, they cross here, right? Very dangerous, but they cross off of the 10-minute 20. And this is why, you know, one, I don't recommend trading end of day, and two, you know, not every trade's going to guarantee a win. Okay? But in this instance, this confirms everything that I've been trying to portray to you guys. This CBC flip long was not as strong or valid as the second one because the 2-minute EMAs were not in confluence of that 10-minute CBC flip. Is it better confirmation to wait to get above VWAP there for a long? Not necessarily, right? I mean, like we're like, you know, it's up to you in you know, accepting the risk. So for me, like, let's say, hey, at this point in time, someone's looking at like 220 or, you know, 217.50 calls, right? These would be pretty much in the money. But where's your risk, right? Now, you either look at it from a candle by candle method risk, right? This candle low area, as long as price doesn't flip, meaning close below the previous candle low, or you use the 2-minute EMA 20, right? 2-minute 20 EMA as your risk area, you know? And why did it get choppy up here, guys, right? I want to clear it out once again. So if someone takes the entry there, CBC flip long, why did it get choppy at this point? Are these really good entries for your longs here? I know it's end of day, and yes, it does push, but are these really the best entries for the continuation of the bullish leg, right? Why did it get choppy there? Why was it not as strong? Not high of day, but pivot. Pivot broke, right? So going back to Nini, right, her screenshot here, prior to pivot break. So all of these longs who I told you bought off the 2-minute EMAs, or they bought off of the CBC, or whatever it may be, they have achieved their goal here of breaking the pivot, scaling, taking profit. This is buying, this is profit taking, right? Don't confuse the two. Yes, and like Saul said, already had a move, right? The move has been made. These are the scraps. Yes, it does continue, but this is, you know, really just for people with their runners. If you want to scalp it, sure, maybe off the 10-minute 20, but again, we should be trading alongside confirmation and understanding the context, right? This is Friday at 3 o'clock. go home. um, but I mean, you can do this time and time again. So we'll go back. Oops, let me zoom out here. We'll go to another day. Let's go to Thursday on Tesla. Confirmation. This is, I just want you guys to get into the habit of trading with confirmation rather than like, I know that you have a million feelings as the market is open and you don't want to be wrong, not only for the sake of, losing money, but, for your own pride as well. Let's review this trade, right? This day. This is Thursday, August 22nd, Tesla 10-minute and 2-minute charts, okay? And if I'm moving too fast or if you guys are confused, please tag me in the chat and I'll do my best to answer your question, okay? Yes, it's the CBC dip. That's the strategy, using 10 and 2, CBC dip. You can either use the 5-minute and 1-minute or 10-minute, 2-minute. It's really dependent upon your trading style. So let me go through my notes. Oh, I have a really great analogy here too. Right, you guys have all heard we pay more for higher quality, but I really want you guys to just listen to the slot machine analogy, right? And I hate to compare gambling to trading, but really, I really just want you guys to break down and understand the moral of this analogy. Okay, so gamblers will warm up, right, in quotations, warm up a slot machine by trying to achieve a jackpot, but will lose most, if not all, of their money before they actually win or hit that jackpot, right? They're warming it up. They're aiming to hit it, or they're thinking that they will. They just continuously sit there and play it. Experienced gamblers will wait. Let me read this now. Experienced gamblers will wait for the gamblers to lose their money on the now warmed up slot machine. They now have higher probability of hitting said jackpot without using too much of their own capital, right? And in the gambling community, that's probably really greasy, but in trading, it doesn't matter, right? I am looking for that confirmation day after day, right? I will pay more for higher quality. A lot of traders think, oh, but I could have had the best entry right there within the EMAs, but, candle by candle method told me to enter here. So, sure, that's another, dollar or so. Sometimes it could be much more off of the underlying chart. And in some instances, like, let's say, hold on, let me get another example. Okay, so like this, like a trader might said, hey, but this is low of day demand, right? And I should have had an entry, or they yearn for these types of entries, the tops and the bottoms, where candle by candle method told you to enter here because it flipped long and 2-minute EMAs likely were confirmed, right? Because of this large push, pulling back with the lower wicks. So this is a huge difference in contract premium, right? About $2 worth, I'd say. But for me, I will pay more for higher quality because with traders that are trying to get the absolute bottom, I mean, I told you guys an example that that SPY trade that I took, really it was SPX, but the SPX trade I took off of London or below, predicting price, really trying to hit that said jackpot, right? Without confirmation though, and I ended up taking a loss, and those contracts ran $2,000 to $3,000 profit per contract, right? I didn't make any of that, obviously, because I got stopped out trying to predict price. Or really, I should have just waited for confirmation, this little green arrow to light up, or red arrow if I'm looking short. Okay, so I don't see these tops or bottoms as valuable entries to me. And to some of you guys, that may sound crazy because that may be your style of trading, whatever it may be. I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you that, with my years of experience, it's better to wait for that confirmation, right? Even though it may be a little bit more expensive, I have higher probability. Okay, so going back to Thursday's chart. Okay, so going into the open here, what can I take note of? CBC is short, price is below VWAP, and the EMAs are just crossing bearish as we open up. Kind of iffy, but for me, I like that CBC short. I did hesitate on it. I think I took another short on something else that wasn't Tesla. But what do we see here? Price drops down. Don't chase these large red candles. I have a sticky note right on my keyboard. It says entries only within 2-minute EMAs. So I want to just go through today and mark all of my 2-minute EMA entries. This one would have stopped you out. And not a bad stop either. And I mean, we can keep going too, right? Oh, that's all. All right, so these are all of my bearish 2-minute EMA entries. All throughout the day. Every single white arrow shows you opportunity on a trade. Whether or not they make profit is up to you. But a lot of traders are not going to take these entries because on the 10-minute or 5-minute, whatever they're looking, they'll pull the trigger once we're breaking pivot or it's a deep red candle. They're taking entries there. And some might say, but Maple, right? If you continue to hold that, that's great. You would have made plenty of money. And yes, that is correct. But not every day looks like this. Okay, not every single day looks like a complete dump trend day where, you know, Tesla dumped from 224 to 211, 13 points, right? Like, this is an anomaly day. And it's a fun day to trade. But I want you guys to learn how to trade it very well and with low risk, okay? So, confirmation. 10-minute CBC short, price below VWAP, 10-minute EMAs bearish. I know a lot of traders, instead of actually trading alongside the confirmed trend, they go long here, they go long here, they're buying long off of green candles, they go long there. What's the problem with these trades? Yes, it is safer to wait until the 30-minute orb is printed. Okay? Yo, take it easy, Des. Have a good day. Yeah, they're not A+ setups. Exactly, right? Go back to the screenshot here from Nini. Right? Look at it, you know, both sides. Now, this is referring to... Hold on, I think there's another one you guys posted right here. Oh, this is all bullish. Okay, but don't focus on the sentiment that's listed in this screenshot because it should be above or below. Okay, but if you want to go long, price should be above VWAP. You should have the candle by candle method flipping long. You should have 2-minute EMAs showing supportive for a bullish move, right? The 9 above the 20. And it should be prior to a pivot break. Okay? So, going and looking at all of these longs, do you have the 2-minute EMAs in your favor at any point in time here? Here you do. That's great. But what's the problem with that trade? What's the problem with this CBC flip long, guys? Counter trend trading, okay? What's the problem here? You got 2-minute EMAs. It's flipping into the EMA, exactly. Below VWAP, no higher low. Thank you all. Thank you. Perfect answers. No higher low. Pushing into the EMAs. And it's below VWAP. Right, remember, I will cover this really quickly, just like we did last week. What is VWAP, right? It's your volume weighted average price. All right, weighted. So where is the volume weighted? Is it weighted towards the upside or the downside? Well, it's very evident as to where price is either above or below VWAP. In this sense, it's beneath it. So this little green CBC flip candle pushing into the EMAs is not a reversal. What is it, guys? If this isn't a reversal, this is what? And I don't want this to sound too elementary or walkthrough-ish, right? I just really want to help reiterate these concepts. And I know that there's a lot of lurkers in the group, people who are quiet, that don't chat, that really, appreciate these types of lessons because, it's going to improve their trading and maybe open up a thought process that they didn't see before. It's a pullback, right? Profit taking. They're just scaling out. That's all it is. They're just locking in some profit there. If it was a reversal, you would see what? Price push up, pull down, whoops. Pushing back down, holding this pivot low, creating a higher low and a higher high. This higher low and a higher high break would create a change in character, right? Market structure is changing. You go from lower high to lower low to a higher low and a higher high break. Next stop would be VWAP, but that doesn't happen in this sense. Instead, what happens? CBC flips short right here on 10-minute. What do? Jump immediately to the 2-minute chart. Okay, you can see your 2-minute chart right here on your right side of your screen. 2-minute EMAs cross. That's great. Off the CBC flip. Where's your entry? Within the 2-minute EMAs. Boom, boom, boom. And all of these are A+ setups. Why? Why are all of these entries, these Y arrows here, perfect entries? CBC so short, okay. Before pivot break, thank you. Y'all are listening. Before the pivot break, right? Going back to the A+ setup, prior pivot break. Okay, because what happens then, right? If price is developing like this, right, and a trader takes the entry short here, what are they to sit through? Indecision, CBC flip long, CBC flip short. It's just moving sideways. Not to say that, hey, you wouldn't continue to make money there, but you're sitting through a lot of unnecessary price action. I mean, this goes from 140 and you don't continue to sell off until 320. So almost 2 hours. You're sitting there trapping yourself for 2 hours where these traders have already made their money and they're just sitting in runners, right? So prior to a pivot break, great entries. I love CBC flip short or long prior to a pivot break because I'm going to scale after that pivot breaks, right? Locking in that liquidity. Okay, but again here, what happens? Why is this CBC flip long invalid there? Because you don't have 2-minute EMAs in your favor. So a trader might sit there and say, oh, but look at this. CBC flip long. We got pullbacks into the previous CBC flip body. This is going to go. This is going to reverse, right? Nope. Because you don't have your 2-minute EMAs in your favor for the longs. Instead, what happens? CBC flip short. Okay, entries within your 2-minute EMAs. You might get stopped out there. Probably not, though. This is a very low wick, and it's not really breaking that range resistance here at 214. 2-minute EMA drop, right? Cross, retest. Perfect entries there. And then the end of day dump. Even right here, right? They give you a 2-minute 9, which I don't recommend trading the end of day, but you have to trade with that confirmation. Otherwise, you're just predicting price action. Okay, let's see. What else do I have left on my notes? Okay, here, we'll just continue the notes, right? I want you all to translate this over to your day trading and observe how you can apply this. I've shown you plenty of examples today on how to apply it, but I need you to go through and back test this yourself, right? 10-minute time frame, 2-minute EMA interactions, okay, for execution. And also, being patient is one of the most difficult things to be as a trader. I mean, how many traders sat there? Let me here. Let me go to real quick. How many traders? I mean, and this is myself included, right? I'm not throwing shade at anyone because I'm throwing it at myself. All right. They see a support here. They're like, okay, I'm going to scale in. I'm going to go long here. I'm going to go long here. I'm going to average down. Whoop. You get stopped out. You trade an SPX, you're trading SPY, 0DTE, you're going to get stopped out right there, right? Because as it's developing, it looks super scary. If you look on your 2-minute, look at that breach, right? Like, that's just a knife. That's what you're like, oh, okay, this trade's over, I'm done, flat, right? Like, that's what you're thinking. Okay? Even here, same thing. I mean, look at this. I'm going to go over 2 examples. Trader gets stopped out there, right? But the trader who's patient, this trader is sitting here entering at 11:50. So let's say 11:55. The CBC trader doesn't enter until 12:20, 12:25. So about 30 minutes later. 30 minutes later, right? But patience pays, and we pay more for higher quality. All right? So the trader who enters there, following the CBC flip, they push almost a high of day, and that's $2.36 on your underlying. 23 points on ES, which is over $1,000 per contract. SPX, that's a big payday, right? And that sucks for the trader who gets wicked out, who doesn't have confirmation, who doesn't have 2-minute EMAs in their favor, who doesn't have CBC flip in their favor when they take the long reversal entry. That sucks. Use that feeling of disgust and push it towards areas in your trading that you can turn it into something positive, right? Like, I'm so disgusted with trying to pinpoint reversals or buying, into pivot point levels or orb levels. Like, I really just need to sit there and be patient and wait for this stupid little red or green arrow to pop up, and then I can take my trade, right? And then I can take it. Because think about this example. Hey, price is pushing into the EMAs. I'm going to take the entry there. Boom. Someone takes it right off the 10-minute 9. I do it. You guys do it. Everyone does it. You're taking it short. You don't have confirmation. As they break the 20 EMA on the 10-minute 3 times, the trader is likely to stop out. Likely. They thought that you would see a faster rejection like we saw on the 10-minute EMAs prior. This is a strong close into the EMAs. You're sitting red, you're scared, whatever it may be. If you're on ES, you take the 9, right? You're down. That's 90, or that's a dollar. That's a dollar. 559 to 560. That's 10 points on ES. You're stopped out, bro. Okay? That's it. You're cut. Versus the trader who says CBC flip short. They take it after this candle closes right here. These are the same entries, right? Same entry, same level. What's the difference this time? You have candle by candle method confirmation. 2-minute EMA timeframes are now in your favor. Right side of the V, exactly. Same, I mean, and how many of you have taken a trade like that, right? Say I if you have. I'll put fucking I because I do it all the time. Just being impatient. How many traders take that? You take the entry, you get stopped out. Another trader takes your same entry that you had prior to sitting through any of the bullshit. Remember, the gamblers have warmed up the machine. They have warmed up the machine. This is them leaving. Right? They go home with like a 73-cent ticket to go cash out. And what happens? Some experienced person They come, they sit in the sweaty, warm slot machine chair, and they take all the money that you worked for. Right? Sucks, but that's the reality of trading. I'm going to show you another example why confirmation is so important. Okay, right here. Pivot low. Oh man, I'm going to scale in long. This looks like that trade that we just looked at moments ago. I'm scaling in long. Any of these entries, right? Averaging down, blah, blah, blah. You get stopped out right here, buddy. Right there. That sucks. Liquidity sweep, fake out, breakout, yada, yada, yada. You were predicting a reversal without confirmation. Okay? Versus, hey, I'm a patient trader. I just got to sit here and wait for this little stupid green arrow to light up. And the candle to close. CBC flips long. What do you think happens right here? This little box. What do you think happens right there? Friday. We're on the default set. Huh. So, the traders who were trying to go long right here, did you have 2-minute EMAs in your favor? No. Did you have candle by candle method in your favor? No. The trader, and then they stopped out down there for a massive loss, right? The trader who was patient, though, who studied today's session and will trade it this week, CBC flips long. Okay, I'm going to jump over to that 2-minute time frame. Wow. Look. Wow. Wow. Right, great entries. Right here, the CBC flip short. You might stop out based off the 2-minute EMAs, but according to CBC, you should stay within that. You should stay within that trade as long as candle by candle method is what? Bullish. See that green arrow? I don't see a red one here. Exactly. Exactly, Robbie. I'm not a swinger, right? I'm a day trader. You guys can back test it. I'll probably back test it myself. Definitely an area that I should focus on and grow within, but I make plenty of money sitting here trading intraday and not stressing about swings. But I have heard a lot of traders using, candle by candle method on like a daily time frame or even, hourly. Like if you go to, let's look at Tesla. Let's go to a daily. CBC, damn, bro. What am I doing? I need to do this, honestly. Look, CBC flip long. They pull back, swing entry into the previous body there. And these mofos push it. I'm not going to give you a perfect entry, obviously, but they push it from 203 all the way up to 226, 23 points. That's a great swing. CBC flip short. They pull back into the previous body. Good short entries there. Bro, we're about to be swinging. Look at that. CBC flip short. Booyah. Look at this, man. CBC flip short into the EMAs. Okay, it's whatever. But CBC flip long, that's the confirmation that we need, right? They pull back into the previous body slightly. They buy it up. Massive rip. CBC flip short, right? And then it does gap down, I feel like, because it opens down here and closes back up. But obviously, it's going to need some more back testing. You try to swing in this, that sucks. Okay? But that is going to be it for me today, guys. I really hope that today's session has helped improve your trading or at least taken you one step further towards your goal. So I will catch you guys all tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It is the 3-year anniversary for the House of Stacks. So if you are in the Discord, I will be hosting some giveaways throughout the day. So stay tuned. Make sure that you are watching it. I will set out alerts for the giveaways. We'll post them in the trading floor. All you have to do is click a button and you will be entered into the giveaway. So until next time, you guys, please enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You guys get something good to eat, get something good to drink, And make sure you have plenty of rest so we can trade the very best we possibly can this upcoming week. So make sure you guys study the CBC dip. That's the strategy that I talked about all throughout today or throughout today's session. Back test this. Look at where you're entering versus where you should be entering according to the CBC dip. So until next time, I hope I've helped you out today, and see you tomorrow. Love ya. Bye.